You're live.
Okay. Good morning. I'm glad to be back with you reading for story time this morning. I have Maddie right here. This is Maddie with the whirly twirly tail. And I'm going to read her story in this book. And we're so glad you've joined us this morning for story time. Maddie's whirly twirly tail. When Maddie was small, you just couldn't fail to spot his uniquely curly tail. Look how curly his long tail is. Maddie grew older. He couldn't abide it and did all he could to try and hide it. Maddie was so anxious to make his tail straight, he'd spend hours with it tied to a weight or hanging upside down from the branch of a tree until Mom said, "Maddie, it's time for tea." Maddie always worried when meeting new folks that they'd laugh or stare or make unkind jokes. But his tail stayed curly. Whatever he'd try, it made Maddie become so incredibly shy. He would try to forget by helping the ants, teaching the parrots and toucans to dance. Cuddling the lizard who lived on the rock, and wearing a basket for old Mr. Croc. Weaving a basket. He's weaving a basket for old Mr. Croc. Maddie was generous, kind, and friendly, and his friends all loved him oh so immensely. But his tail was so curly they began to feel bad, that it was making him feel so incredibly sad. He was embarrassed because he was different, but different is good. So one day his friends hatched a sweet little plot to show Maddie that his tail didn't matter a lot. Francis, the fruit bat, sent Maddie a letter. "Come to the big tree, the sooner the better." When Maddie arrived, his friends were all there. They turned their backs and put their tails in the air. They'd knotted them all, twisty and curly, twizzled and swizzled and twirly and whirly. They all tried to make their tails look like Maddie's tail, so Maddie would feel the same as they did. Taller or shorter, thinner or fatter, how you look on the outside just doesn't matter. Tails straight or curly, wear them with pride. That's really important. What's really important is what you are on the inside. Thank you for listening to that. That was a good lesson about not everybody's alike, and you should be thankful for who you are and what you are on the inside. This is a very old book. I used to read this book to my children when I taught school years and years ago, and it has this sticker on the outside called Newbery Honor Book. That means it was given an award for being such a good book for children. It's called Millions of Cats. And the pictures are all in black and white. Now, most of the books have lots of beautiful color pictures in them, but this is old and it's in black and white. Once upon a time, there was a very old man and a very old woman. and they lived in a nice clean house which had flowers all around it, except where the door was. But they couldn't be happy because they were so very lonely. "If we only had a cat," sighed the very old woman. "A cat?" asked the very old man. "Yes, a sweet little fluffy cat," said the very old woman. "I will get you a cat, my dear," said the old man. And he set out over the hills to look for one. He climbed over the sunny hills. He trudged through the cool valleys. He walked a long, long time, and at last he came to a hill which was quite covered with cats. Here's the hill, and there are millions of cats. Cats here, cats there, cats and kittens everywhere. Hundreds of cats and thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats. "Oh," cried the old man joyfully, "now I can choose the prettiest cat and take it home with me." So he chose one. It was white. But just as he was about to leave, he saw another one, all black and white, and it seemed just as pretty as the first one. So he took this one also. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
But then he saw a fuzzy gray kitten way over there, which was every bit as pretty as the other, so he took it too. And now he saw one way down in a corner, which he thought was lovely, too lovely to leave, so he took this one too. And just then, over there, the very old man found a kitten which was black and very beautiful. "It would be a shame to leave that one," said the very old man. So he took it too. And now over there, he saw a cat which had brown and yellow stripes like a baby tiger. "I simply must have it," cried the very old man, and he did. So it happened that every time the very old man looked up, he saw another cat, which was so pretty he couldn't leave it. And before he knew it, he had chosen them all. And so he went back over the sunny hills and down through the cool valleys to show all his pretty kittens to the very old woman. It was very funny to see those hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of cats following him. See, they're following him over the hills and down the road. And he's got his arms full, and there's a kitten on his head. They came to a pond. "Mew, mew, we're thirsty," cried the hundreds of cats and thousands of cats and millions and billions and trillions of cats. "Well, here's a great deal of water," said the very old man. Each cat took a sip of water, and the pond was gone. They drank all the water. "Mew, mew. Now we're hungry," said the hundreds of cats and thousands of cats and millions and billions and trillions of cats. "There's much grass on the hills," said the very old man. Each cat ate one mouthful of grass, and not a blade was left. Pretty soon, the very old woman saw them coming. "My dear," she cried, "what are you doing? I asked for one little cat. What do I see? Cats here and there, and cats and kittens everywhere. Hundreds of cats, thousands of cats, millions and billions and trillions of cats. But we can never feed them all," said the very old woman. "They will eat us out of house and home." "I never thought of that," said the very old man. "What shall we do?" The very old woman thought for a while, and then she said, "I know. We will let the cats decide which one we should keep." "Yeah," said the very old man, and he called to the cats, "Which one of you is the prettiest?" "I am," I am. No, I am. I'm the prettiest one, I am. No, I am, cried the hundreds and thousands and millions and trillions and billions of cats. Voices from each cat thought itself to be the prettiest. And they began to quarrel. They bit and they scratched and they clawed each other and made such a great noise that the very old man and the very old woman ran into the house as fast as they could. They did not like such quarreling, but after a while the noise stopped. And the very old man and the very old woman peeked out of the window to see what had happened, and they could not see a single cat. I think they must have eaten each other up, said the very old woman. It's too bad, but look, said the very old man, and he pointed to a bunch of high grass, and in the grass sat one little frightened kitten. They went out and picked it up, and it was thin and scraggly. Poor little kitty, said the very old woman. Dear little kitty, said the very old man. How does it happen that you were not eaten up with all these hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of cats? Oh, I'm just a very homely little cat, said the kitten. So when you asked who was the prettiest, I didn't say anything. And nobody bothered me. So they took the kitten into the house, where the very old woman gave it a warm bath and brushed its fur until it was soft and shiny. Every day they gave it plenty of milk, and soon it grew nice and plump. And it is a very pretty cat. After all, said the very old woman, it's the most beautiful cat in the whole world, said the very old man. I ought to know, for I've seen hundreds and thousands and millions and billions and trillions of cats, and not one was as pretty as this one. So they lived happily with their little pretty white cat. Okay, that was kind of a long story, but this one is short. And this weekend is special because it's the 4th of July. Tomorrow is July the 4th, where we celebrate our country's independence. And this is a little book. It's called America ABC, and each letter tells us something about America. A is for Abraham Lincoln, who was our president. B is for baseball. C is for chocolate chip cookies, which we love in America. D is for Death Valley, which is a place that's very, very hot. E is for Empire State Building, which is one of the top 10 tallest buildings in the world, and it's in New York. F is for Ferris wheel. G for the Grand Canyon. H is for Halloween. I is for ice pops. J is for July the 4th, which is tomorrow. K is for key lime pie, which my youngest grandson absolutely loves. L is for Liberty Bell. M is for Martin Luther King, a very special man in our history in America. N is for New Orleans. O for orange juice, which we love for breakfast. P is for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which are loved by my middle grandson. Q is for quarter, which has a picture of a president on it usually, and on the other side it has United States of America. R is for the Rocky Mountains. S is for Sacagawea. She was a very special Indian girl who helped the explorers find their way across America. T is for Thanksgiving, when we give thanks for the many blessings that God has blessed us with. U is for uniform. V for volcano. W for the White House, where the president lives. X is for Malcolm X. Y is for Yellowstone National Park. Z is for zipper, which we have on our jackets. I don't know what that has to do with America, but anyway. So thank you for joining us this morning for story time. We're so grateful for our children that watch our stories on Fridays. Thank you.